efforts and give you an update on what our numbers look like. As of this morning, we had 2,178 negative tests and 12 positives. Of the 12 positives, 8 are considered active and are currently under orders of isolation. And we've had 3 people who have recovered, and we have 1 death, and that was the original case that we had back the first part of April. We have, in addition to the 8 people that are positive that are under orders of isolation, we currently have 35 individuals under quarantine, meaning they've been exposed to someone who has a positive test. And it can be people with positive tests that live in our county, and it could be people that they were exposed to that live in another county. There's a lot of crossover between us and Glenn, Butte, Shasta, for example, and in some cases people live in one community or in one county where their test results get recorded but work in another. In addition, we have our Optum site back at the Red Bluff Community Center. This is the 2nd week it's been back up here, and they have done, out of the over 2,000 tests that we've had done, they've done 1,375 of them. So that's been the majority have gone through the free testing at the community center. And for a while it was down here in Corning at the high school. We did a special clinic in Rancho Tehama yesterday and tested 45 people. We also have a test site scheduled in Manton and Mineral, just to try and reach out to more of the outlying areas where people have more difficulty getting into town. And we are also doing testing at congregate sites, such as the 2 skilled nursing facilities in Red Bluff, the jail, and the homeless shelter. So in terms of the shelter itself, there were 25 people that were housed overnight in the shelter last night, and we have some FEMA trailers located there, and if people need to be in isolation or they're just not appropriate for the more congregate setting because of underlying health conditions or something like that, we're using those FEMA trailers. They were sent to us originally in order to be able to have homeless individuals have the opportunity, if they were under isolation or quarantine, to be able to be housed in them so that they can maintain their distance and not potentially infect other people. And then I don't know, I guess I could stop there and see if people have any questions about that.
Sounds like you're really covering a wide spectrum of folks in the county. That's great.
Yeah, you know, and the Optum site doesn't move around, except it has gone once down to Corning for a couple of weeks. So the testing that we're doing remotely is more, we got some swabs through the University of San Francisco, and it's in concert with philanthropists who are providing the test kits and the testing. So our public health nurses are all trained to collect the swabs, and so they're using the swabs from UCSF and going to these locations. We're also offering testing for anyone in a household where there's a positive case or people that are under quarantine, so that they don't leave their home, which they're not supposed to do, and they can get tested right there at their house. So when we're out serving orders of isolation, we're also doing testing for everyone who needs it.
Great. Great. So what does it seem like percent wise? I mean, we've gone up from, you know, being on 3, 4, 5 for some time, and now up to, it sounds like 12. How does that percent look? I mean, are we still in great shape as far as that goes?
Well, we're still in decent shape in terms of the fact that we have the attestation and the variance for the county because our numbers have been low. So we've gotten special permission from the state to be able to open businesses up earlier than counties who can't meet the criteria. We are not at this point in jeopardy of hitting one of those matrix and getting us into a position where we have to start pulling back in terms of what businesses have opened. It certainly is concerning that A lot of businesses are opening at really close to the same time. So just from an epidemiologic standpoint, it's going to be difficult since we didn't open businesses in clusters at least 2 weeks apart. Where's the transmission coming from? You know, so it does, from our point of view, from a public health point of view, it does make it a little bit more difficult to say, oh, okay, you know, we opened this group of businesses and then for 14 days we didn't see any transmission, and then we open, you know, more businesses up 14 days later. That would have been ideal, but we certainly understand all the anxiety and the economic impact on businesses as a result of having to be closed. So one of the things that I forwarded to you, Dave, was the updated list of the businesses that are allowed to be open and the ones that aren't. And so that, I call it our green and red document.
Okay,
So,
I was going to ask you if it's the green or red or the memo. We have those to put up. Nat, could you start with the guidance for business memo that shows what opened yesterday or today? Or when did that open?
Monday. We allowed it to
Monday.
open on Monday.
Yeah.
The guidance document said the 12th, but Dr. Wickenheiser opened them early.
Right. So the one with the blue lettering on it. Yeah. So that's the first one you folks sent out to us.
Yeah, and then we're just trying to keep the red and green one up to date so that as they keep opening more or change anything, then we're updating that document to, we just tried to use something that was easy to look at and decipher so that
Right.
we'd have less confusion and less questions as we go along.
Sure. Nat, could you go back to the other one for a second? So it was the ones to note are bars, wineries, camping. You know, I mean, in our office, we get phone calls, emails, people coming in all the time wondering what's opening, when is it opening? Obviously, casino, the day camps, and daycare, but that's marked revised. What can you explain that?
Well, basically, they had a daycare document out there already long before last Friday when all the new guidance documents came out. So it's just telling you all of the rest of these that are listed here are new that came out on Friday. The daycare one was just updated and revised last Friday, but it had existed previously as an interim document.
Perfect. Family entertainment, gyms, fitness, they're all excited to be opened up. Did get a question a bit ago, why are some open, why are some not? And a lot of it has to do with more the corporate level. They might be from a big city, and so they're opening them all at the same time. And that's why some might lag behind from others.
Well, and the one thing that the correlation between the document you have up and the one with the green and red, we tried to be more specific on the green and red document, because when you look at the other one and it has, you know, a title, oftentimes there's things buried in that title that are separate and distinct kinds of entities. So when you look at like a hotel document, buried in there originally were pools. And how do you deal with private pools that are part of a hotel or part of some other type of business? And so we tried to be a little bit more specific, and that's why the list in the green and the red is there are more items on there, because we tried to split them out a little bit more, because otherwise some of those things are buried in the individual guidance document.
Okay, great. And then continuing on with hotels for tourism.
Sorry.
Music, film, TV productions, pro sports. We don't have any around here that I know of. Schools, zoos, and museums. So anyways, it's opening up more and more. And then if we go back to that other document, Nat, it's kind of hard to read in the color. At least I'm having problems reading it. I don't know if we can expand it larger.
Enlarge it a little bit.
Let's see. So let's go to the nose or not opens. So can you tell us anything about these ones? I mean, this one is still lists of gyms and fitness studios. Is that what you were talking about?
Now, is this effective 5/26?
Oh, that's an old one.
Yeah, that's an older one.
Yeah, he has the newer one, but so let me just go through some of the not opens. Concert venues, festivals, and obviously that's, you know, at the farmers market on Wednesday nights, we usually have, oh, here we go. Is this the right one? Yeah. We usually have concerts, but we're waiting to hear from you and from the city when that is, when we can do, you know, our Wednesday night concerts in conjunction with the farmers market. So obviously festivals, higher education, libraries, lounges, nightclubs. I don't know what the difference is between, you know, the local bars and things.
Yeah, well, don't ask me.
Yeah, I hear you. Nail salons, that's one people are wondering about. I would say nail salons, spas, and tattoo parlors. Not me personally, but
Well, so
I don't, sorry.
go ahead.
I don't have this updated copy. Is there any way that you could send this out to me?
I can, but I will also let you know that instead of continuing to send these out over and over again, we've posted this on our Health Services Agency website. So if you go there, you're going to get the most up-to-date current one. Now, I think I just sent this to you, Dave, the new business guidance or the new updated business guidance and this particular document just a little bit ago.
correct.
You can push that out if you'd like to, but you could always also check it on our website.
Okay, we will probably email it out right after this. We're heading down to set up for our market, so we will email this out tomorrow to everybody. So I mean, does anybody else have any questions? Do you have anything else, Val, or do we want to open up for questions?
Yeah, I don't have anything else.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions for County Health, Val? Got one question from the neighborhood.
Not a question, just thank you so much for doing the remote up to Manton and Mineral. There's a lot of folks up here who, like you said, it's hard to get to town or, you know, whatever. We're trying to make less trips to town, and we really appreciate you reaching out to up here. And everybody knows it's on our Manton Community Board and at the post office, so people are aware. And some people have been asked, do they need to make an appointment, or it's just, you just go, or how does it work?
You just go. If
Right.
you were going to the Optum site at the community center, they have an online registration process,
Right.
and so people would do that. But for this testing with the UCSF swabs, it's our staff doing it, and they'll take down enough information from the person so that we can do the notification of their test results. But you don't have to have an appointment. You just come in during that window of time that we put on the flyer.
Great. Thank you. We all appreciate it very, very much.
We hope to have a good turnout.
Yes. Well, I'm doing my part. You know, I got a big mouth.
Yeah, Val, you and your staff have done a tremendous job in, one, getting the word out, and two, getting the people out to get tested. That's not an easy task, and so excellent job. Way to go.
Well, thank you. I do want to try and keep spreading the word that people shouldn't be afraid to get tested. And by having more people go in, even if they're asymptomatic, it actually helps our statistics. It doesn't harm them. And I know there's been some concern that people shouldn't go get tested because the more positives we have, the businesses are going to get shut down again. And I would really just make the opposite argument that if we can catch up with asymptomatic people and prevent more spread, then in the long run, we're going to have fewer cases. And so that's how we're approaching this. And, you know, being under orders of isolation and quarantine are not scary. You know, we don't come in like gangbusters. We do whatever we can to help people maintain themselves in their home and not have to go out and travel to get things that they need. And, you know, really try to make sure it's as easy on them as possible, even though it's isolating, obviously. But that's how we protect each other.
Great. That's a good word. Nat, I think we have one or two more County health documents. Could you just post those up real quick as we wrap up the county
Sure,
health
yeah.
section?
And Val, I'm looking on your website for the link to the red-green document. I haven't been able to find it. Can you specify that more clearly, please?
So if you're on Tehama County Health Services Agency, right on the home page, there's that COVID picture
Yep,
of what the virus looks like. Can you see
Yep.
that?
yep.
Okay, so click on that. And then in order to see the red and green document, you have to scroll down.
Okay. What's it called? Oh, it's just
A
embedded.
roadmap.
Okay.
Did you find it?
Yeah, so there's not a link to the document itself. It looks like it's just embedded in the web page.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll find a way to link to that later. So,
Great. Anything else for Val? Here's the documents. So the testing, it looks like in Red Bluff, you have opened the testing for a longer time frame to June
Yeah,
26th.
we had to request permission from the state for them to stay longer. And with our numbers back up again at this test site, the state was willing to allow them to stay longer. And we'll see when June 26th rolls around if we're going to be able to keep it open beyond that. We hope to.
Okay, keep us posted. And then here's the website that I think both Val and Nat have been talking about. Right, Nat?
yeah, I'm trying to, I can't share and get it chat at the same time. So I'll paste it in since we're done.
This one.
Yes, and so that just gives you our test results. And then the next section are all the PSAs and different kinds of documents that we've put out. And then if you keep scrolling down, that's where the roadmap document is that I call the red and green one.
Okay.
Great. And so that's the website there, Tehama County, what was it, health? We'll get a
Yeah,
sec.
it's Tehama CO Health Services.
Okay, there it is on the chat if anybody needs it, and you can get a wealth of information there on that. Wonderful, awesome. Thanks, Val.
You're welcome.
Let's go to Mr. Crabtree. How's life in the city? I saw your plexiglass things. Those look great. They look better than some others I've seen around town.
That's to keep people like you separated from city staff.
They told me that.
I'll bet they did. Well, we're working on getting the budget for next year ready for the council to consider it Tuesday night. First time I have been this much in the dark about our revenue picture. Best we can do is guesstimate. We just don't know what the impacts to our revenue are going to be. So we've done our best to try and project them. And we're lucky that we have a healthy reserve that will see us through next year, we believe, without any drastic cuts to services. We'll have to take the year after that when it comes.
Great, yeah. Thankfully, you guys have done a good job with the reserve. I know many 10 years ago when I showed up, that reserve was extremely low.
Yes, it was. It was. It was 5 figures when I got here.
Ouch. That is extremely low.
Yeah.
It was at least in 6 figures when I got here.
But, you know, thanks to a conservative finance director, department heads that stay within their budget, and a conservative city council, we're in a good position to weather this storm, I hope.
Yes. Just for a quick good news, I went and visited a local business today, not really knowing what I was coming into, but they said their business is up. and it's been up considerably. And I'm going,
Good.
gosh, not. Rick wants to know who. I'm not going to say, but
Well,
but it's.
I
But
know
it's,
who I'm hoping it is.
yeah, it's not. It's
Uh,
not one of your huge ones, but
it's
it's a
somebody
middle.
somebody that sells vehicles on wheels. No?
It's no, but you know they are doing well, and they're fairly optimistic on things.
Well,
So
good.
that's good.
They're an important source of sales tax revenue.
Absolutely, but they have a really good attitude, and they are very positive on what's going on
Good.
there as well. So yeah. Anything else from the city?
Not that I can think of off the top of my head. I'm sure I'm missing something. Jonna, is there something I should be telling them that I haven't?
Another one that's
Nothing that I can think of. I think that everything is, we're just still trying to play what's gonna happen next like everybody else.
Oh, I know. We had our first cannabis committee meeting yesterday.
That we did.
We didn't accomplish a lot, but we didn't intend to on the first day. They did select a chair. It's Clay Parker. And selected meeting dates and times of Tuesday afternoons at 3:30. So we're just crossing the starting line.
Great. How many in the committee?
I think it's 9 total. I'd have to sit down and count, but
So you've got business community, city, county, all involved?
correct.
Okay, great. Wonderful. Question from Liz Mary.
Not a question, but I would add that those cannabis meetings are open to the public. They are Zooms. So if you want your business community input on what goes on, they're allowed to go to them too. Maybe Rick, you could put the information for those Zooms into the chat, and then Dave could send it out with his email blast.
We can work on that. I rely on my assistant to do and
Okay,
set calls.
You know, if it's on my phone, I might have it on my
I'll
phone.
happily pass that buck on.
Okay.
Anita has been great about making sure that all the Zoom information is to us at least a couple days ahead of time. So far, I don't think we've reused any Zoom numbers like this. I know this meeting happens under the same ID every week. I don't think we've been reusing numbers so far, but if anybody wants to email me when I know anything, I will make sure to send that out.
Great.
We have received various reports of businesses that have opened not adhering to their plans. And just want to encourage people to do the things they said they were going to do in their plans, especially as our positive count continues to rise.
Great. Very important. Very important. Jonna, can you put your email in the chat in case people need to get a hold of you?
I can at least attempt to do that, and it's also available at the city website. We were talking about yesterday that all the city emails are fairly simple because they're based on your name at cityofredbluff.org. So
jjones@cityofredbluff.org.
Great. All right, city, thanks. Anything else there, Rick?
No, I think we've covered it. Thank you.
Okay, great. I'd like to bring SBDC in here from Butte College. Sophie, I know you had a big training today and you have more coming up. So great to have, are you doing them off of Zoom?
Yes, we are. And that's what's happening now that the businesses are slowly opening and the customers are not coming in as fast. You know, it's going to take some time. They've been asking for other opportunities to market online. So what we did is set up 3 marketing webinars on Zoom for this month. So the first one was today. Thanks to you for helping to promote it. We had 92 attendees.
Wonderful.
And this was a focus on retail businesses and downtown businesses. So the next one is next Wednesday at 10 o'clock. It's a Zoom too, but that focus is on restaurant businesses.
Okay,
so
keep talking about that and we'll bring up that flyer. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
there it is. And so Sharon will be talking about the restaurant businesses, how they can pivot and do things differently. And so then the following one will be on all businesses, all business types. But next week from 10 o'clock, it's a 1-hour training, and he is really, really great. And what we're trying to do is look for different ways to help the businesses, because in addition to them getting access to the SBA products like the EIDL and the PPP, some of the businesses are still, looking at having problems with fast opening. So we have to look to how we can get the customers to come faster or the increased sales if it's online. And then also, although the EIDL and PPP has been extended for the end of the year, those businesses still need funding or still need money from their customers to stay open. So we're trying to look at any type of opportunities, especially online. So we will continue. Maybe next month we're going to identify what other online opportunities we can reach businesses with in order to try to increase the customer base or target the specific customers.
Great. We'll put some of this in the chat, but Nat, can you put the, I don't know if you can cut and paste that, but if you can put up the next flyer too for the one in 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, I'm working on that now.
I don't have it.
Oh, okay. I thought we had it, but we do have the other flyer for the one in 2 weeks. It is on our social media as well, and in our e-blast, both of the restaurant one and the one following. And that one is for all businesses, correct? The one on the 24th? Or no, sorry.
Oh, the one on the 25th. That's the export. I forgot about that one.
Yep, sorry.
Yeah. That one, no, I forgot. That's marketing with exporting. So they're trying to talk about opportunities that exist now, that there have been approval with increasing the export in Asia. So there's a 2-hour webinar. We actually have someone from Hong Kong that will be on that webinar to discuss how to easily export your products and how to, navigate the process and not get stuck, and all of the tariff opportunities that have been reduced. So that's going to be a great webinar, and that's for food and ag businesses.
Great. Yeah. So that one is on our social medias and e-blast as well. So that's a great one. A lot of ag here. We deal with a lot of ag folks that do a lot of export, and they come through the chamber to get their correct documentation on that. So
yeah, and then I think it was last month for about 3 weeks or so, the SBA blocked their website to only the ag businesses to get EIDL loans and PPP. Yeah, because they were struggling. The ag businesses were struggling. So this is also an opportunity for them to get back into the market and then identify all of those tariffs that are either reduced or gone away.
Great.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Yeah, great trainings, and right now online is the way to do them, and people are treating them more and more like a sit-in class. I think people are learning how to zone in, and 'cause I'm a little ADD myself personally, so I can zone out, but my brain is getting more used to treating this like it's with real people, but it's good.
Yep, that's it. And then also just to remind you guys to let businesses know to come to the SBDC. Everything is being done virtually now. Like we say, Skype, Zoom, phone, email, just on the recovery process, what they need to recover, so that they don't get frustrated. We actually handhold them through the process. It's difficult out there, so as long as they have support, and that's who we are. Is Sharon? I see you were saying.
Yeah, it was just interesting. I know this is kind of everyone's question, but do you anticipate a lot of those services to continue to be offered in this format after we can more freely interact? I mean, I've just seen so many offerings that people are more able to take advantage of because it's online. So I was just wondering your thoughts, where your discussions were about that.
And you know, we might do both because we try to do what the customers want. So if they're still requesting online, we will do in addition to. Because the online, especially with all of the business consultants we have about 13 business consultants. The online is so great because they can do it anytime in the evening, on the weekend. There's no restrictions, whereas the in-person is generally 8 to 5 where the facility is. So, yeah, in addition to this, we will do whatever they need.
And
It'll be
before the
easy.
virus, they were coming here quarterly and putting on some
Yes.
fantastic classes and trainings that were, I mean, packed full.
Right. Yeah, and I just emailed you on that. We had a training that we had canceled yesterday, but that was in person, the commercial leasing, the basics of
Yes.
commercial leasing. Yeah, we're trying to reschedule that.
Okay. I will
Yeah.
get back to you on that. I'm
Yeah,
haven't been able to yet. So,
yeah.
yeah. Well, we appreciate all you're doing. You're probably helping 50 plus businesses from Red Bluff, right?
From Red Bluff, quite a few. This is, and I'm sure it's because of your Zoom meeting too, because it slowly increases every week we get about 4 or 5. So that's
Great.
really good. Really
Good.
good.
They do a fantastic job. If you know of any businesses, they will take them from step 1 all the way through to whatever they think the finish line is, and then some. And they just do a fantastic job to walk with the businesses, whether they're new, in between, old, struggling, doing okay. SBDC, Sophie and her team just doing an amazing job there.
Thank you, David. They do.
Our pleasure. So, okay, who else we got on here that's got something burning that they want to talk about? Don't everybody speak at once. We do have in our chat the how to sign up for the restaurant one. So if you know of any restaurants, please get that link to them. And Prime Cinemas is hoping to be open the last week of June. Okay, so we'll stay tuned on that from Kathleen, and so we'll stay tuned on that. I know everybody's. Let me tell you about, like, everybody's wanting to get out and do something, right? Our market last week, just thankful for the farmers and the vendors and all, but it was one of our largest markets that we have ever had, and that all goes right back to the farmers, you know. And so what they've been planting and growing and weeding and picking over the last few months is paying off, because everybody was still wondering, like, are people going to come out, or how many, what's going to, but it was a fantastic market. We don't have concerts, so we don't have a lot of extra people. We didn't have kids activities, so we don't have a bunch of, you know, little kids or families, but everybody that went there to purchase fresh local fruits and vegetables and meet other great vendors. And so it was fantastic. So that was very encouraging. We did not know until 5 o'clock last Wednesday what was going to happen. And it was good and a good report. So come on out tonight. You'll be glad we did. You'd be glad you did. I've been just talking about fresh air and fresh produce. I mean, it's just doesn't get better than that. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. What else we got there, Nat? Anything? Show me any other slide we kind of had. We'll get to it at some point, but we're revamping our Friday e-blast. It's still free for everybody. So if you want to have a e-blast go out on Friday, I don't think we have a slide on it, but email me, dave@redbluffchamber.com with your flyer. And if you have a link to that flyer, great. And we'll get that out. It goes to 800 inboxes, and then it gets forwarded to thousands. So that's that. Let's go back to the farmer's market. I need the stuff for the e-blast by noon tomorrow. So if you know of anybody or if they have a flyer, email it to me. We'll get it out, get the word out to lots of folks. Here's our market, and 5 to 8 every Wednesday night through August 26th. And if you have something, a hot deal, we call them, you can advertise that for free on our website. Anything you have going. And this is from one of our members, ServPro. So they have a certified cleaning and disinfecting, like for the COVID situation. And so they put it on a hot deal, and it's free. Great ad. We get thousands of hits a month on our website, and people are going, they're clicking on that little next to that arrow, hot deal, and then you can find out all about it. So we're just trying to help out as best we can. Vesper Lodge has given out over $25,000. Talked to them today. They're working on another round of money to local businesses, Tehama County businesses, small businesses up to 10 employees. And they fill out their application. If they've been hit by COVID, they fill out the application on the chamber website, and it goes directly to them, and they review. They've had a number, obviously, of more probably than they can fund, but they're still asking and requesting for people to fill out this application. This flyer and the link to the application is on our website, redbluffchamber.com. People are still using this, Red Bluff, Tehama County. Who's open for business? What are their hours? When are they? You know, some are doing live Facebook things at night. Others are doing, specials during the day, whatever. And they're putting that on our Facebook and Instagram there to let folks know. That's what we're trying to be. It's just a tool to get out as much as we can for the local businesses. There are, and everybody's struggling some, but maybe for them to struggle less. And this is new today. You'll see it coming out on our social media soon, but almost all restaurants are open and at various degrees. Some are delivery, curbside, and others more than ever now are dine-in with safety precautions. We started a YouTube a few weeks back, and I asked for help because we only had 4 subscribers. I don't know, I've never done a YouTube, but now we're up to 8 subscribers. We have doubled our list. Hey, we got good stuff on there, so go check it out. It's worth it. And there's some old things in there that are kind of fun to watch. That's it. There's a lot of folks that don't want to be patient and stay positive and respectful. Can't believe it. So we're just continuing to push a good, positive, let's do this thing together message. And that's what this flyer is, and it's on all of our stuff. And we not only want people to succeed, we want people to have attitudes of gratitudes and see the whole community get through this thing together. Our newsletter came out, and it's online. You have it in your inboxes, most of you. And we do, and we could send it to you if you need it via email. And we do have hard copies here in the office as well that talk about a number of issues, articles, things that are going on. And that's our show. We can't do Good Morning Red Bluffs yet either. Val, what are we at? Are we still at gatherings of 10? Didn't think I was going to call.
Sorry.
That's all right.
I'm trying to unmute myself here.
Yes.
We are,
Okay.
except for places of worship and for protests. Those numbers came out the beginning, I want to say, of last week, where places of worship and protesters places of worship start there. If the capacity of a facility is, say, 100 people, you can be at 25%. Or a maximum of 100 people, whichever number's lower. So technically, yes, the numbers are still 10 or less. We are working with folks to see how they might be able to go higher than that, depending on what kind of guidance has come out from the state. So it's sort of a case-by-case basis, and
Right.
We're looking at things like resuming in-person city council meetings and board of supervisor meetings and what that would look like and how we socially distance. So what basically the health officer is asking everyone to do is to submit a plan. even if you don't have the green light yet, get your plan submitted and see if there are ways that he feels like a business or, you know, an event can be done safely so as to not expose other people, as long as they can abide by all of the rules, if you will, you know, social distancing, facial masks, and all those things. So, I mean, there is no other number that's been put forward by the state yet for larger than groups of 10, except for the ones I mentioned. But
Okay.
I expect that we're going to see something along those lines come soon.
Great. Wonderful. Okay. Does anybody have any last minute questions for anyone? For us? Anything? We appreciate everyone hopping on Zoom. You know, we've been doing this now for 3 months. So that's actually, this is our 13th week of doing it. And when we did the first week, we did not know we were even planning on a second week. And we've been doing them ever since. We've had over 250 people throughout the time on our Zoom calls. And so I appreciate you. You know, some of it matters to you, some of it doesn't, but you hang tight there on the Zooms, and that's good. So we're going to keep doing them as long as they're effective. We do not want to waste people's times, but we want to be able to get, you know, pertinent, important information out from health, from city, from county, from SBDC, from the schools. We're going to have some folks from the schools, I think, back on again next week to give an update on what's going on with them. So anyways, that's what we're doing. We're here to serve. We're here to help out. We're here to encourage, and we want everyone to succeed and do the best they possibly can.
I don't know if this is useful. I'm going to put my parent hat on for a minute, but I believe it's the district superintendent put out a video yesterday on their website regarding upcoming school regulations and what they're trying to plan for this coming year.
Perfect, perfect. So that's probably on the Tehama County Education Department.
I think so, yeah.
All right, perfect. Thanks for your mom hat there. We need that. We heard them in the background too. That's part of the Zoom world. I had some dogs barking one day. What do you do? Okay, well, I know your time is valuable. I thank you for being on today. Have an awesome rest of the week. And we're going to continue together to see through this. And I think we're going to be shocked and surprised at the rebound and recovery.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you, everybody.
Appreciate it. Bye-bye.
Guys.